Hi, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be making a delicious breakfast scramble. While going through treatment, it's important to stick to a healthy diet. Let's start by chopping our garlic. First, you want to take a clove of garlic, like so, with the peel still attached. Then you want to take a large chef knife and press it on top of your garlic and smash it open so that the peel comes off rather easily. Then you just want to mince your garlic into small dice, being careful not to get your fingers in the way. Next, we're going to chop up our bell pepper. A really easy way to remove the seeds is to take your bell pepper like so, slice off the top, trying to reserve as much of the flesh as possible. Then, with your fingers and clean hands, you want to dip inside into your bell pepper, pull out the core, and then scrape out the seeds. This is just a fast, easy way to remove all those pesky seeds from getting into your food. And any extras, you can just tap into your hand and they'll fall out. Then, placing your bell pepper on your cutting board, you want to slice it in half, then into quarters. Then just chop it into medium-sized chunks is fine. Remember, anytime you're preparing food, especially for somebody going through treatment for cancer, it's important to always make sure all of your utensils and fruits and vegetables, as well as your hands, are always sanitary, because anyone that you might be cooking for possibly has a low immunity, and you want to avoid any type of disease or infection. Now that we've finished all of our prepping, now it's time to do some cooking. So first you want to heat up your pan so that it's nice and hot. We're going to be cooking our breakfast scramble at about a medium to medium-high heat. Once your pan is nice and hot, you're going to add about 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. You're going to let your olive oil get nice and hot. Then we're going to add 1 medium diced onion. It's important to let your onion saute until it's nice and translucent. This is going to avoid any extra bite from that onion being left into your dish. Sauteing it until it's translucent just takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Now that our onion is nice and cooked, we're going to add our 1 clove of chopped garlic to our pan. Then we're just going to let that cook an extra 30 seconds or so. Next, we're going to add our diced bell pepper. Now it's time to add our tofu to the skillet. Tofu is a great source of protein, fiber, omega-3s, and contains absolutely no cholesterol or saturated fat. This is what's going to replace our eggs in our dish. It's important to use a firm tofu while sauteing it for the breakfast scramble. Tofu comes in a plastic container like this. You want to just rinse out any of the extra water and then flip out the tofu. Then with clean hands, you're just going to break apart and crumble our tofu into a bowl. It's okay to leave it into rather medium-sized chunks. Now we're going to add the tofu to our skillet. Just want to carefully add it, making sure none of the water splatters onto you. While adding your tofu to the skillet, try to disregard any of the extra liquid that comes with the tofu. Then you just want to stir it around. Tofu actually doesn't take long to cook. It's not like eggs where you have to make sure that your heat is very low. You can keep it on a nice high heat. Once all of our tofu is mixed into our bell peppers, onions, and garlic, then we're going to add our spices. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Turmeric is what's going to give this dish a really nice yellow color. It's going to really resemble eggs. I think you're going to be thoroughly surprised. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. You can also use fresh parsley. This is just a little bit easier, makes the cooking time less. I'm going to stir it all around. making sure that the turmeric coats all of the tofu. We're just going to season it with a little bit of salt and black pepper as well. It's important to use an unrefined sea salt when cooking. Then we're going to add some black pepper. This is going to taste really good. You can serve this alone, or you can serve it with tortillas, with salsa, any of your favorite condiments. Doesn't that look great? Now it's ready to be served. So here we are with a beautiful dish. It smells delicious and tastes wonderful. And if you have any recipes that you'd like to share with me, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Chef Veronica, and here's to feeling great.